star. How I win. How I win. Little star. How I wonder. What you are.
It's always an early start when you go into the Grampians. Load up the car, put the boulder pads in, collect the ropes and gear, and hit the road. If you make it through the city, it's only 4 hours away to some of the best rock climbing in the world. The particular climbing that me and my friends do quite often is bouldering. When you boulder, you don't use any ropes, however you do use the soft mats underneath you. However, the Grampians is also home to some of the best rope climbing spots in the world, and we're so lucky to have it all in our backyard.
Yeah. So Holly Mountain Cave's a pretty special place. You kind of walk up this pretty established track for about maybe 500 meters, and then it turns into this like brutal, steep rock scramble for another maybe like 300 meters. It's pretty cool, but then you get maybe like halfway up the cliff line and you can like look out, and it's like one of the best views I've ever seen. Then you get past that bit and you walk into the cave, and it's just like 50 or so different climbs with some of the best rock in the Grampians, and there's always people there, like different skill levels.
On one of our more recent trips, we got to visit Valley of the Giants. After a long walk in, we found Lost Negative, a 7-meter boulder that had a classic 3-star line called Lost Negative right up through the guts. It was an awesome experience, working the moves and being able to send it.
We keep it pretty simple, nothing too fancy, just a bunch of tents, a few cars and a fireplace. Nights just spent just chilling around the fire, maybe a couple of drinks, but nothing too crazy. And yeah, it sort of depends on where we want to climb as to where we camp. If we're spending more time in the north or the south, or someone has a particular project somewhere, so we kind of change it up a little bit, keep it interesting.
Really, you don't need anything to go bouldering. If you want to be like super traditional about the way that you do it. But to make things a bit easier, you can bring a pair of climbing shoes, bag of chalk, and then for your safety you can bring like a soft pad that you carry on your back.
To get to the Muleline Caves, it takes over an hour of bush bashing and hauling your gear through the heavy forest. When you get there, you're met with spectacular red cliffs. The one climb there on every climber's bucket list is Eye of the Tiger, a sensational line that leads straight up through the roof through a big circular overhanging dish. Up next, everyone else got on Crank and Dangle, a slightly easier climb, but still just as fun. To move through the spectacular red rock, it's hard not to be blown away by the patterns and the shapes of the sandstone.
Classic for the area. It's called No Sex After Mushrooms. This one took me a while, for sure. Actually had to come back to it like 3 or 4 times before I finally finished it. Pretty intense, to be honest. You like start in this huge scoop in this cave and you kind of have to lean straight back into this really tiny hold and just like mince. Go for it. It's massive. Come on. Oh! Man. Go on. Go it. Oh. Feet on good. Yes! Sit. Off the right, all the way over. And stand up. Yes! So you walk into this area called Snake Pit. It's almost like this Colosseum looking, this huge like amphitheater style roof. And then just down from that is this climb called Volume 1000. And it is so tall. It's like 8-9 meters tall. Super scary and intimidating when you're standing at the bottom of it looking at the top. You definitely do not want to fall off. But then you like have a look at all the holds that you're going to and everything, that like the way it goes, and it's not too bad. First move's pretty hard. You kind of have to do this big reach up with your left hand, and then you hit that and it's not so bad. You kind of climb through some pretty good holds. And then right near the top is what's called a crux. It's like the hard part of the climb. It's where most people fall off. And keep in mind, you're already like 6 or 7 meters off the ground going into this move, and your legs are like shaking and you're not sure if it's going to hold or anything like that, and you hit it, and it's way worse than you think. And then after that you like slap up past it to this awesome hold and just climb over the top. But I actually went into the little pebbly part, the crux, like fell 6 meters to the ground, straight onto this pad, pinched myself and was like, oh, nothing happened to me. It's pretty scary though.
I think something with climbing outside in particular, you see these amazing views and these amazing places when you walk through somewhere like the Grampians, and it kind of gives you a way to interact with and experience what you're seeing and what you're appreciating in such a new and different way, and also in a way that warrants so much self-improvement. You know, you can really get out of climbing what you put in. The more work you put in, the more accessible it comes for you. I think that's a huge draw card to climbing.
Cool. Awesome.
No worries.
Thank you for your time. All good. Cheers.